So give us a little bit. We'll be back. I'll go talk to the freaking bank. And he says, well, the bank's about 20 minutes away. I'm like, I'll make it in 7.
This is Lansing. Cops don't give a fuck.
And I got on 96, got off at Marketplace, weaved through fucking traffic, pulled into PFCU, walked in there, said I need to talk to somebody about an auto loan. Walked in, started freaking typing away, and got the loan person on the phone or whatever. Talked about my boys' stuff, and then they asked me, do you have accounts? I'm like, yep, I think there's 7. Yep.
Because he's got every one of them
8.
maxed out. He can't put any more money into this account.
Everyone's bursting at the seams.
Yep.
I can't take it anymore.
You gotta have another account. We can't do it.
But still, but we drove it away. Like I said, heated leather seats, remote start. I mean, it's a good looking car. Brand new tires, brand new freaking brakes. Drove it out real nice. It freaking 75 mile an hour down the expressway. It drove beautiful. Let go of the steering wheel and it freaking goes.
You didn't test the car.
Good.
You didn't test the car the way Ty does. Allegedly in Mexico.
Yeah.
The way you brought the freaking VW home. They had a VW gas Jetta there.
I mean, the gas is still pretty good on fuel.
Mm-hmm.
But
anyways,
what's repairs cost on the fucking things? What's the
dick.
brakes cost?
Arm and a dick.
I mean, if you change the oil, do you got to hook a damn computer up to it?
No.
Oil, no.
Fuel filter, yes.
No,
well, not
on a gasser.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Why do you got to change, or why do you got to hook a computer up to it to change the fuel filter?
To prime it, because the fuel pump does not run unless you're cranking. So unless you want to sit there and hold the start button and just let it crank and crank until it gets primed.
It just saves a lot of wear and tear on it if you prime it.
Okay.
I mean, you can go in and change a whole bunch of aspects. Like, so with our Jetta, if you do like a light tap on the stalk, you know how most cars nowadays blink like 3 times? You can customize how many times it blinks in the system. You can customize the fuel gauge. Like if Joseph is really bad at running the tank real low, you can tell it to read like 1/8 of a tank lower than it actually is. So like,
shit.
Maybe you should go to the fucking...
That's a woman's thing.
Yes.
But you'll have to come over and I'll have to look up the laptop. There is a outrageous amount of things you can change. Like to customize your own thing.
Turn the seatbelt off. That's number 1.
There's a setting in there I looked at that you can set it so when you activate the rear defrost, it will automatically activate the mirrors. Instead of a separate switch like it has normally, you can tell the computer, if I press rear defrost, I want the mirrors as well.
See, now, that's the first time I've heard that. Because any other car that I've ever been in, you hit rear defrost, and if it has defrosting mirrors, it turns defrost mirrors on automatically.
So with ours, the defrosting mirror, the knob to adjust the mirrors, you turn it 180 degrees from normal, and that's the defrost setting. Anyways, we got to kick this.
Liberty and Lead podcast. Keep it local, keep it cash. Tell the feds to kiss your ass. I'm Ty.
I'm Moo.
And I'm Trigger.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. We're going to talk a little bit about cars and apparently tech that died in 2024. What do you got?
Or Minnie Mouse is going to get it. Okay, sorry.
I did.
Buck teeth.
I looked at 2 vehicles while I was there, though.
What do you?
2017 Buick Regal with 44,000 miles on. Sport touring, identical to mine. But almost
You
like
found a
burnt
purple
red.
Cavalier. Oh, burnt red Cavalier.
Again, beautiful looking car. No cosmetic damage, nothing. But they wanted $14,900 for it. But it's a 17 with 44,000 miles on it.
I considered it, but I just dumped a shitload of money into my car. So
And then they had a 0660 long box crew cab sitting there.
smoking like a tire fire.
I don't know. It doesn't look like it freaking ran in 6 months, but it was sitting there.
So CNET put this out. Tech that died in 2024.
Okay.
Hey, you made it to the end of 2024. Congrats! I can't say the same for a lot of gadgets in our lives because tech changes fast, products come and go, and this is my annual video where I go over the tech products that failed, flopped, and lost funding this year. Some of it is a little sad, but some things you will be glad to see
COVID
gone.
testing?
Hey, did you know that you outlasted this? And this? And this fella? Yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm Bridget Carey, and it's time to say goodbye to the tech that died in
Redbox is
2024.
gone.
Fossil smartwatches are now smartwatch fossils. The watch company Fossil is no longer making smartwatches. The last model was the Gen 6 that ran Wear OS. And if you say, well, that's because Apple has the best smartwatch, don't hold your breath, because Apple can't track your breath anymore. This year, Apple discontinued selling watches that use the blood oxygen sensor because Apple lost that patent dispute and was ordered to remove the feature. That's not the only Apple product to die. Apple Pay Later became Apple Pay right away. The Buy Now, Pay Later service was shut down less than a year after it launched. Apple also put an end to iTunes. Yes, iTunes still exists for Windows 10 and 11, but to get people to move on, Apple made sure that the apps it has in the Microsoft Store could handle syncing media between Windows PCs and iPhones. That includes the Windows version of Apple Music, the TV app, and Devices app. If losing iTunes makes you sad, well, Apple certainly does not care about your need to rip your old music CDs, because Apple also discontinued its USB SuperDrive. But who needs something to read CDs and DVDs anymore? Best Buy stopped selling physical movie discs this year, and Redbox, a company that began 20 years ago, announced it was shutting down 24,000 of its kiosks when it filed for bankruptcy. And since I'm already breaking the hearts of 90s kids, here's another relic of the 90s that's now gone. Instant messaging service ICQ shut down after 27 years. So the age of instant messaging is officially dead. Google wouldn't be Google if it didn't shut down a bunch of side apps that you didn't know about, so I'll just list them and let's see how many you used. Google Pay in the US ended in June to move everyone to Google Wallet. Google Podcast discontinued to move everyone to YouTube Music. Google discontinued the Stack PDF Scanner app to get everyone to just use Google Drive, which does the same thing. Google One VPN ended, and it didn't move everyone to something else because no one was using it. Google Jamboard shuts down at the end of December. It's a digital whiteboard app for Google Workspace, but it also was an actual 55-inch whiteboard connected to the cloud that cost $5,000 plus a $600 a year annual support fee for a whiteboard. Yeah, I wonder why it died. And probably the most notable, Google stopped making the Chromecast after 11 years, which was a hit because of how cheap it was to stream content to a TV. To replace the Chromecast, Google began selling a $100 device called the Google TV Streamer, which also streams video. But by calling it a new product, they can now charge you more to put YouTube videos on your television. Now, some things died quickly, and it's a relief they did. Meta shut down the celebrity lookalike AI chatbots. They had the face of a celebrity, but they went by different names. Yes, please kill it with fire. Snapchat can't seem to ever get its hardware to take off. It launched a flying camera called the Pixie drone and then recalled all of them for overheating batteries. Spotify also crashed out in the hardware game. It shut down the accessory called Car Thing, which was a thing that streamed music in your car. It was $100. Now that thing is just e-waste. All units don't work, and you have until January 14th to request a refund. Lots of tech dies when it loses usefulness, and that applies to a well-known robot that retired this year. Boston Dynamics said farewell to its hydraulic Atlas humanoid robot as it backflips its way to oblivion. It caused us so much collective discomfort to see what moves they could get this robot to do, and now they made a video of all the ways it also awkwardly rolled to the ground. Atlas has been jumping and lifting and doing this stuff for 11 years in development.
Already don't miss
but
that.
no time to mourn because the company is working on another more frightening humanoid product to take its place, this time fully electric. The journey to replace humans with robots is never easy, and one such robot has lost funding. Moxie the robot is a cartoon-faced AI chatbot. It's designed to serve as a close friend to a kid. It's a developmental toy for young kids to talk to. They can play games and learn. It was very ambitious and very expensive. It was first announced in 2020 and it cost $800. Moxie cannot perform core functionality without connecting to the cloud servers, and those cloud servers cost money. There's no more funding. Owners were abruptly notified that the robot would just stop working because of funding issues, but as of the time I am recording this video, the company says it is trying to explore options to keep it operational as long as possible. And a lot of people online are really upset. There are videos of kids who are bracing for their robot buddy to die any day now. It is legitimately sad. Here's hoping for those kids that Moxie finds a new life in 2025. And if there's another tech product that disappeared this year that I did not include, pay your respects in the comments.
Redbox is not a surprise because, I'm sorry, nobody watches
in
DVDs
in
anymore.
the era of streaming.
I had to fight with a DVD player last night to get that fucker to work.
You probably had to ask one of the kids how to fucking work it.
No, I had to unplug it, plug it back in. Still nothing. The buttons on the front of it did not work. I had to go to the clicker and turn it on. I was surprised the batteries in the clicker were still good.
Surprised you still had a DVD player.
Yeah.
You borrow it from him.
No.
Get it out from the top of the stack of VHS players.
Plan B was, yeah.
Plan B was to come over to my house and watch it?
No, Plan B was to have one of the kids' game consoles.
Oh, yeah.
Over to your house with that poor ass 65-inch. Psh.
Hey,
That's the biggest TV I ever had. Looks good in there. Fits good. The other one, some of the other ones, yeah, the Redbox didn't surprise me.
$800
the
for that kid's
Chromecast a
toy.
little bit. What was the other one that was?
Do that $800 toy. Ooh.
that phone thing for the autoplay or car play or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Spotify car thing. Like, come on.
XM radio. It was the same thing. They had the little ones you could buy wherever.
Very few cars nowadays don't have Bluetooth.
When right. And I got that. I could just plug it into anything with a little dongle thing I got. Downstairs.
If you don't have Bluetooth,
Right.
you can plug
You
into
say that
it.
regularly. Little dongle.
Your kid's car gonna have Bluetooth or no?
No.
He's gonna want one of those then. So they're not bad. They're just plug in a cigarette lighter or whatever and connect. Anyway,
Yeah, but a bunch of tech dying. Not like it matters because some of
At
that
first-
stuff was not well thought out.
at first I was like, "Wow, Redbox died." I'm just used to seeing them everywhere. But then the more I thought about it, and I'm like, "Well, yeah, it makes sense."
In the era of streaming, you're
We're
stuck
just finally
with
getting him
DVDs.
around to our way of thinking with that because we hooked up a bunch of apps last night. What ones did we put on there?
I have no idea.
Hey, how does that work? So, do you have VHS players that have HDMI outputs so you can watch them on the TV?
Yes.
I didn't realize they made them.
The VHS?
I have
The
VHS.
tape?
I have a freaking VHS player that has HDMI on it.
It must be one
I'm
of
still
those
lost
combo.
with VHS. What the hell is that?
Whatever.
I'm
do
old.
Do I ever watch VHS? Nope. I got rid of all my.
At least he's not rocking the fucking laser disc.
Everything's labeled not
No.
porn.
Wink.
Nope. I got rid of all my VHS. Now I have a DVD VHS player, but the one I use most of the time is just a DVD Blu-ray player.
I'm surprised you know what a Blu-ray is.
That's his
that was a
favorite.
low blow.
That's
Guess
his favorite
what?
porn.
That was a low blow.
Guess what? My life's a lot simpler than yours.
Is it though?
I don't know.
It is.
I got
It is.
You got what?
what? I got
No.
life pretty well dicked.
With
You're
doing
not
what?
allowed to have heat in the house. You're not allowed to have AC in the house during the
How
summer.
much time do you spend in front of that TV?
All of it.
Ask Amy. She'll tell you.
Well,
Ab-
yesterday was because you didn't want to be here because of how she was being.
No, I goof off out here. I'll just walk around, whatever.
But you have a TV going.
Yeah, TV's always going with music here.
Okay.
He just
I'm
listens
not
to
in the fucking house. I listen to freaking silence. I listen to the voices in my head.
I'm out here listening to it. That's why I have 60,000 minutes or whatever it was.
He's got Simon and Garfunkel going through his head all the time.
Leaf.
The sound of silence.
It's a good song. Especially by the originals.
I think the Disturbed version's better.
I'm not saying it's not better. I'm just saying it's a good version. And the original was good.
I looked at either one of them was good.
But end of the year.
Yeah, Christmas was over. What'd you buy yourselves?
For Christmas? Mm-hmm. A 65-inch TV.
And a trailer.
Not a goddamn thing.
I bought dumb stuff. I bought the TV. I bought 3 TVs, but I only kept one. New Michigan laws starting at first. Minimum wage is going up. Resolution gyms. And Bianca's been going to the gym with me. She's into it. She's into it more than I ever thought she would be. But coming into this next couple weeks, it's going to be absolute hell if you go to the gym every week or every day, once a week, 5 times a week, whatever. I don't care.
First couple of weeks are going to be madhouses.
The fucking first couple
every
of
year.
weeks. Oh, it's horrible. That's why they're called resolution gyms. Jason was the first one to enlighten me with that name. I always knew it, but I never knew there was a name for it. Resolution gyms, and mine is one of them. It's the
Planet Fitness
gym,
is all them.
It's when they make their money.
Yeah, people buy the freaking 2-year subscription and they're required to freaking pay, or else they.
Yeah. You can pause it. Like if you get hurt, you can pause it where I'm at, and I never have. But like when I had that hernia, I'd never paused it.
But on the other hand, they only go for 2 months, don't see the results they want to see, lose interest, stop going. Well, they have to pay on it the next 22 months because they signed a 2-year contract. So they're making their fucking money for the 2 months you decided you wanted to go for your resolution.
Yeah.
And that's how they make their money.
For me, if you're going to a gym, try it out. Try it out for however long, but do it with cash. Somehow figure it out with cash. Because once they have your credit card or debit card or whatever you pay with, they have you locked in. The family fitness gyms in Grand Rapids, I think they're all closed up now. They had a big problem where people were going there and doing their thing, and I'm done. I don't think I want to do this anymore. Cancel my subscription or whatever it was called, my
Contract.
Well, they said, yeah, no problem. Done.
Continue to charge them for the next 2 freaking years.
They all got in deep shit over that. People were...
This place did it. To
Probably.
Joseph.
Oh, probably. That's why I tell everybody, I pay cash, the green kind of money, 2 years in advance. Usually cost me $200 for 2 years, which is not bad.
And that's what, $8 a month?
Yeah, that ain't bad. Get me in cash. The last time I only paid $150 for 2 years. They said something about I don't remember.
Cash discount?
They text me or something out of the blue, like their automated text, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. I go there and I'm like, I got this text. Yeah, no problem. Let's have your card. And I'm like, no, I'll pay cash. Like they're going to charge me for the $25 yearly fee that's snuck in there, by the way. So the Joe Blows have to pay, their monthly bill comes out, whatever, $20 a month. Well, once a year it comes out another $25 on top of that because it's a maintenance fee. Bullshit. I pay cash. I'm telling you, that's the way to go. I actually use it. I go once a week at least. For my $8, I've gone every day but Christmas this week.
Why didn't you go on Christmas? You weren't doing anything.
You're right, I wasn't. I thought about it. I actually considered it. I actually went by there and there were people there.
Tell you what, the last time I went to a freaking gym to work out, I was in high school. I don't have time for it.
Everybody says that.
But again,
You were home all day yesterday watching TV, waiting for your trailer to show up.
Yep.
But you don't have time for it.
Okay, you're right. Had I left to went to go do something,
Communication. Just like when we text you, you never text us back.
well,
They
tonight
would have called you. Say, call me when you're on your way, and they would have called you.
they were supposed to call me when they were on their way. They were supposed to drop it off at 10 a.m.
Then they set it up for dropping it off at 7, and that's when they left.
No,
You said they were coming between 6 something and 7.
they dropped it off at 6:30.
Yeah. 6:51, you text me saying it's finally here, and they just left.
It's here. They just left, but we sat out there shooting shit. I sat over there picking the fucking trailer apart for 20 minutes.
When I was at your house, you said that that was set up to be brought over after they closed. Somebody was bringing it, and it would have been 6:30 to 7 because it's a 45-minute drive.
Yep.
So it must have obviously closed at 6.
And that was 4:45. They said 6:30, 7 o'clock. But it's a 45-minute drive. I can make it in 45 minutes. Why can't you make it in 45 minutes? So from 4:45, 4:50, 45 minutes, that would have been 5:45-ish. Okay, so if I'd have left then to go to the freaking gym and work out for 45 minutes.
You could have left. Had they called.
And
I'd done that. I've had to leave.
But they didn't call and say they were on their way. They would have called me when they got to my house.
Stay
and
there.
Been sitting there.
I'll be there in 30 fucking minutes.
But then today, yep, I probably could have fucking woke up, went to the gym, and then went out freaking car shopping.
Everybody's got something going on where.
And
50,
yes,
it's probably whatever. It's probably 10% of the population actually go to the gym.
But I will say, let's say in the last 12
you get your
months,
exercise in cutting wood probably.
Cutting wood, just being active, not. I mean, in the last year, not trying to press any buttons.
Amy
In
watches
the last
a lot
year,
of TV.
how much weight have you lost in the last year?
If I didn't go to the gym, I'd look like Baird. I eat like shit.
So do I.
If I didn't go to the gym, I would probably look like Baird.
But as of Christmas Day, I've lost 19 pounds since December of last year.
Good. Stress, probably.
Yes, but I've also been more active because I haven't had shit for people holding me back from doing the shit I want to do. If I want to go outside and do shit and clean up the fucking yard and cut wood and freaking do this other shit, nobody's telling me I have to be in the fucking house and all this other shit. Or
I got
also
up at 3 o'clock
with
in the morning, walked all the way downtown to the far end of town, to 66 and back when I lived down on Main Street. Those days I was getting 20,000 steps. I got down to 185.
But also, I have started to. I still eat like shit. Don't get me wrong. I still eat like shit. But on the other hand, is my meal is a third of what I used to eat a year ago.
Right.
The size of my meals, I have cut 2/3 of my freaking meal out. And that's what I eat. And that's enough to hold me over till the next meal.
I haven't. I peg out on taco night or whatever. But
And-
resolution, Jim's, was where we were. Let's move on to something else.
Sorry.
No, it spun out.
There you go.
Only in San Francisco do I get a parking ticket for $100 while these guys are next to my car shooting up and smoking. I got a parking ticket because I had to park illegally so I could safely get into my office.
I think I would make sure to post that however many times it takes to make it go fucking viral.
I'd take that fucking thing to court.
And I would make sure I'd say the town, I'd say the wherever you're at. That woman.
I asked James to wrap my presents in black wrapping paper, and so this is what he did.
She's gotten popular all of a sudden. Hellcat, KFC,
And at first I
Kool-Aid,
didn't understand,
black wrapping paper.
but then I did, and I meant the color black wrapping paper.
You didn't specify what you're talking about.
It's
You
white
didn't
and
specify.
black aesthetic.
Okay.
I got nothing.
What was your other one?
What other one?
You swiped
That
that one.
No. We're not going to get into that one. There's that one.
That was funny. That was funny.
You want
New York.
you want to tickle the taint of power usage?
Okay.
Look at all this research I did. I did some numbering.
Is that what
2020.
we were talking about freaking nuclear power earlier.
Yeah.
It's segueing into.
Okay.
So the average American house consumes about 30 kilowatt hours per day. This one's more like 10.
Well, not right now. What's
Four
wrong with you?
in the summertime. It was 44 degrees out today. I guarantee she shut the heat off.
Oh yeah.
She's probably happy it fucking got to be able to turn it off for a while.
Let that thing catch its breath.
Let that meter just stop smoking the bearings.
So 2022, the U.S. consumed 4 trillion kilowatt hours in the entire year. That breaks down. I did the math to break that down. It's 4 million gigawatt hours. Nothing. So average is 11,151,685 megawatt hours per day across the entire United States. What is that? 11,151 gigawatts a day. Gigawatt hours, sorry. So I looked up a little bit more. Your average coal plant generates 400 to 2,000 megawatts at 90% capacity factors, which is 8,600 to 43,200 megawatt hours per day per power plant, which means you would need 258 coal plants across the entire United States to power the U.S.
States.
The United States per day. Well, 258 across the U.S., assuming zero downtime.
But now, as Billy Bob Thornton stated, do we have the transmission lines to be able to do that across the country?
Keep in mind, this also does not include line losses or transmission losses or anything like that, because I don't feel like getting into all that bullshit. All right. They have combined cycle gas turbine natural gas generators that are more efficient than the single stage. They produce more power. They put out 900 megawatt or 21,600 megawatt hours per day, which is still a fair amount of power. You would need 526 of those to power the entire United States.
That wouldn't be bad. Okay.
Some numbers I found pretty interesting. 1 metric ton of coal, so 2,200 pounds, can generate 1,927 kilowatt hours. 2,200 can generate almost its weight in kilowatt hours. 1,000 cubic feet of natural gas, which is a box 10 feet by 10 feet by 10 feet of natural gas.
Yep.
A cube of natural gas can generate 99 kilowatt hours. All that gas is only 99 kilowatt hours on the efficient one.
Okay.
Or I guess total. Typically, an acre of solar is 400 megawatt hours per year per acre, which is obviously these are ideal numbers. So 1,096 kilowatt hours per day, which means if you wanted to use solar plants,
Wind or
panels,
solar?
Solar.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I said solar all the way through.
I thought you said wind. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm getting, there's a lot of numbers in
Yep.
here. So solar produces 400 megawatt hours per year, so 1,096 kilowatt hours per day on just solar per acre. So to power the entire United States under ideal conditions, you would need 10,175,000 acres of solar.
So the whole state of Idaho.
Basically. Assuming zero transmission losses.
It would take you, what did Billy Bob Thornton say, 30 years to get the transmission lines for that kind of power?
Oh, hold on.
It'd be way more than that.
We're hammering down.
Yeah.
Onshore wind turbines can generate 2 to 3 megawatt, 48 to 72 megawatt hours.
Per year?
No, this is just total.
Okay.
They can push 72 megawatt hours. Obviously, we're really trusting some
So,
government numbers here.
We need 17
Hold
billion
on.
wind turbines.
I'll get into that. The offshore ones can do up to 12 megawatt, which is 288 megawatt hours. But
Offshore wind?
interestingly, 30 to 40% of the energy in the wind actually makes electricity. So it's 60 to 70% waste.
Okay.
So, under ideal conditions, you would need 38,722 to 232,327 wind turbines, offshore and onshore, depending. Or 62 of the second largest nuclear power plants.
How many?
62, assuming zero transmission losses.
62 nuclear power plants to power the
Of
country.
the second largest
Of the
design.
second largest.
50 states.
Okay, that's a lot of fucking numbers.
California needs 2, obviously.
Alaska
They don't
needs
need
2.
anything.
Texas
They
needs
need
2.
to go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can just bulldoze that fucking place.
They
into
need
the-
to freaking
So,
go.
I looked up the 3 largest nuclear power plants.
in the U.S.
No, period.
Okay.
Japan has one. I'm not even going to pretend to name any of these fucking power plants because they are all fucking names.
Kyrgyzstani?
No.
Gazoon
So Japan has the largest, and it produces 7,965 megawatts, which is 191,160 megawatt hours per day, which is a tremendous amount of power.
Now, do they run it instead of transmission lines? Do they run it through the re-rod through the buildings?
No, it's not China.
You might have to. Keep them on their toes.
The number 2 and 3 spots are taken by South Korea with 7,489 and 7,268. But while I was looking it up, the 4th largest nuclear power plant is in Canada, and it's just called Bruce. It's right across Lake Huron from us. It is 8 reactors on 2,300 acres, and it employs 4,000 people.
But 8 reactors. Okay, let's go with that. I know they're probably freaking huge. With you saying that the whole place is on 2,300 acres.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said before, and I'm sorry, I will bring it up again. But if you look at the nuclear power, and you look at decommissioned Navy warships, Navy aircraft carriers that are reactor-based or reactor-powered that are sitting dormant, we have clean reactors on these ships that we could literally power these that have 200, 300, 400 years more use into the freaking reactors. And granted, they are smaller reactors, but they're sitting there. The government already paid for them. We paid for them with our freaking tax money. Why the hell can't we hook them up to shorelines and backfeed everything while they're sitting there in dry dock, in freaking storage, doing nothing because they're decommissioned sitting there?
They're going to want all new water lines and plumbing and electrical and fire suppression and handicap accessibility and all these things to get them back up to snuff. Because they let them go.
So
They never should have.
Bruce, this power plant, Bruce, we need 11.2 million megawatt hours a day to power the U.S. The annual net output of Bruce is 132,000 megawatt hours per day.
And how much do we need to power the U.S.? 11?
We need 11.2 million megawatt hours.
And Bruce produces how much?
Give me your calculator again. I'll do this math real quick.
I'm sorry.
I didn't do it before. I was getting buried in fucking numbers. So, we need 11.2 11,000,000, 151,685, and Bruce puts out 131,989. So we would need 84 Bruces to power the U.S., assuming 0 transmission losses, which is not going to happen.
So let's say there's 50 states.
Every state basically needs 2.
Every state needs 2 Bruces.
Yeah.
If you can keep him here.
But it's covering 2,300 acres for each Bruce.
Average size state, or is Michigan an average size state?
We'll say 100 reactors. Alaska only needs 1. 2,300 times 100 reactors. It's 230,000 acres. Area by state. That'll give me...
Yeah, that'll
Square.
give me the best.
That'll give me... Well, actually, hold on. I got to do a different calculation. Acres to square miles, because good luck getting 230,000 acres. It is 359 square miles. I don't think Rhode Island is even that small. Let's see. Area by state. Ooh, this goes. We need... God damn it. Where is it? 359 square miles. So let's scroll down to the bottom of this list. What do you think the smallest state is, excluding territories and excluding D.C.?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island has 1,545 square miles.
And
So
you
we
said
would
needed
need...
359 square miles?
Yeah. So we need less than half of Rhode Island.
Just about a third of Rhode Island.
To power
in
the entire United
physical
States.
acreage to power the entire country. Put 100 nuclear reactors.
Nobody would give a shit about Rhode Island.
Nobody does.
I already gave up on him.
So a third of Rhode Island, put 100 nuclear reactors.
Guam is larger than we would need for the acreage for that.
Double it for parking.
Yeah, they employ 4,000 people in one of those plants.
So 4,000 times
in each
100
one?
reactors. So
Bruce, up in Canada,
that
employs
would-
4,000 people.
that would employ 40,000 employees.
20,000 to do the labor and the other 2,000 to fucking say sorry all day.
Dude,
Yeah.
where's Homer Simpson when we need him?
Dope.
4,000 employees, you're going to have more than double in parking.
But 4,000
Well, 3
employees.
shifts.
There's
We timesed it.
a
3
nuclear
shifts.
reactor already
So-
down on the Lake
South
Michigan.
Haven. Yeah.
Each one's
Palisades.
2,300 acres.
I'm sure that
Times that
includes
by 100,
parking.
that's 230. That includes parking, cooling ponds, cooling towers, all that shit. So, I mean, you would have 40,000 employees for these 100 reactors on this 230,000 acre facility.
Which is less area than Guam.
But on the other hand, could you imagine these idiots that built this place put an entrance right here, but yet by the time you get through the entrance in this 359 square mile area that you have to go to, you're at the back reactor. You have to drive, once you get through the gate, you have to drive 359 fucking miles to get to the back reactor. That'd take you 8 hours just to drive to do your shift.
I'm sure they have shuttles
I know,
on that
it's
property.
it's just the stupid shit that I think of it. You'd have to drive 8 hours, 359 miles to get to your reactor.
But either way, we're talking about, okay, New York City's land area is approximately 300 square miles. So an area a little bit larger than New York City is what would be required to power the entire United States.
But then not saying anything. I know Rhode Island came up just because whatever.
Well, it's the
If
smallest
we did
state.
it, if we did it in the center of the freaking country.
Well, no, you got transmission losses, and you need open access to cooling water. So it has to kind of be near large bodies of water.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mississippi River, but that's a going dry.
But like Texas and California are both on coastlines.
Oh, let's just build freaking California into a nuclear reactor.
I mean, no one's there anyways.
We could push the bad stuff from California into the ocean.
Gotta be.
Build all the freaking reactors. Have all the cooling we need. Yeah,
But
I'd go for that. I'll support that.
But we got to get people to stop being afraid of nuclear.
I'm trying to find that place now. I'm gonna see how many
What?
acres
The
it's on.
Palisades?
Yeah.
It's called the Palisades.
Is it?
The only thing I'm afraid of with nuclear is attracting Godzilla. That's it.
Here.
No.
Palisades, 432 acres.
Okay.
The Palisades, the 500 megawatt plant, nuclear plant we have in South Haven, it's 430 acres. It's obviously a lot smaller than Bruce. But it was never intended to be a heavy duty power station powering a large amount of people.
But I bet that could power half the state of Michigan.
Probably.
Yep.
And unlike solar and wind, it works rain, sleet, shine, doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
It's just gonna run.
Unless it's overheating.
But we've talked about this 100 times. The biggest problem is the name.
No, the biggest problem is the media stigma that they keep attaching to it.
Okay, then
'Cause
change
they
it
they
to fluffy unicorn glitter piss.
They keep bringing up fucking Chernobyl. Okay, the Americans don't do shit like the Russians do and skip all sorts of safety checks. It's just not something we do. 3 Mile Island, when it had a meltdown, nobody died from radiation. They died from panic. What was it? Fukushima in Japan
Fukushima.
was designed to withstand a natural disaster. And then it got hit by 2 back-to-back, which nobody could have fucking planned on. It got hit by a tsunami and then an earthquake, or the other way around. Nobody could have planned for 2 back-to-back natural disasters. Just can't fucking do it.
Oh, they can in Florida. 2 hurricanes back to back.
But it failed safe. Nobody died from radiation. They died from the panic of running away from the plant.
Again, with all the government intervention we have, with all the freaking OSHA bullshit and all this shit, I'm sure there would be enough safety technology. Okay, let's go with that. Is the USS Ronald Reagan has 8 nuclear reactors aboard that aircraft carrier. Biggest aircraft carrier of its kind. And there was 8 nuclear reactors on there. How long have they been in service?
The Cook one is 510 acres.
And how many times have they melted down? And you know, that's a bunch of freaking, sorry, but military personnel, you know, military intelligence is the one thing that nobody ever declared is military is not too awful intelligent. But yet,
Well, to be in the nuclear, you actually have to score pretty high on the ASVAB. But, so, Bruce, up in Canada, this is going to come important. They built 4 reactors, and then they built the other 4 later on. The first 4 cost $1.8 billion to build.
okay,
In the 70s, well, I think this is in current dollars. It was built in the 70s.
1.4 billion?
1.8 billion. It was built in the 70s, Canadian dollars to USD.
so $1.14 to their $1.
1975
But it,
worth today.
let's see, 1970 was when the first reactor construction began, and it was commissioned in 77 as the earliest.
75
So
would have been
7 years to build a
105,000,
nuclear
105
reactor?
billion.
Huh?
said 1970, and it was commissioned in 77.
Took six years to get a reactor finished.
Okay.
The first 4 cost $1.8 billion. The second 4 cost $6 billion. But we're looking at 50 years later, we're still getting power. Canada is still getting power out of those power plants.
With
50
maintenance.
Thus the 4,000 people employed. Now, I got curious. So I did some research.
Now, you?
GM's biggest plant is in Spring Hill, Tennessee. It's, I guess, their propulsion plant. Engines. So they hire 5,000 people, and it sits on 2,100 acres, of which they claim 700 of that is used for farming and 100 is a wildlife habitat. So 1,200 acres is their biggest plant. They employ 5,000 people at GM's large.
1,200 acres.
Yeah, is what they actually use at their largest power plant or largest plant. Period.
Half the acreage of Bruce, with 1,000 more employees than Bruce.
Sorry,
But
1,300
quality,
acres.
though.
Where, at Bruce?
No,
Because
GM.
definitely not at the GM
At
plant,
GM.
jackass.
Of course not. There's no 305s anymore. But
What was I thinking?
so, Bruce equivalent in the U.S. would employ almost as much as GM's largest plant. I assume this is the largest plant by area, but 4,000 people in a plant is a fuck of a lot of people, and that's 3 shifts.
Okay.
That's 1,300 people per shift.
But
That's a
now,
lot of fucking people.
let's go. Name one company in the U.S. that employs 40,000 employees.
Amazon.
40,000 or 4,000?
40,000.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if we was to build the 230,000 acre facility with, what do we say, 100 Bruces?
100 Bruces.
100 Bruces, 230,000 acre facility with 40,000 employees, because 4,000, say, so you'd have 40,000 employees to run this fucking power plant, okay? That's 40,000 jobs that was just fucking made to power this freaking country.
But you'd be getting rid of consumers' energy power plants.
Well, no, because if consumers got ahead of it and actually took steps to make a power plant, they could get ahead of the curve and definitely get a good lead on it. Because if you run nuclear, the input cost goes drastically fucking down. Not a tremendous amount, because there's a lot of red tape to jump through. But if you can lower your input costs over a 20-year lifespan of a plant or more with maintenance and upgrades, you can easily recoup your costs while offering power at a lower price, which will incentivize people to switch to you because you can offer it for lower, and get rid of those god-awful fucking solar farms that nobody fucking likes.
Those things are worse
now
for the
there's-
environment, just like the solar.
There's other
wind
ways
farms.
that they can update. You know, hydroelectric dams.
Actually, dams, I looked it up, like the largest energy producers in the U.S., and dams actually top the list.
Hydroelectric dams are a big fucking thing. Now look at Ludington. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ludington.
Kind of.
It's north.
Okay, so Ludington literally every day pumps water out of Lake Michigan, and it goes into a 100 billion gallon holding pond in Ludington.
Okay.
And at dusk, they open the gates, and it flows back into Lake Michigan through a water turbine. And that powers the entire city of Ludington. During the day, they pump it using a third of the energy back in to fill the
Okay, that was my
pond.
question. How much energy are they using to pump it?
A third of the power.
Oh, it's basically a power storage device. So, here we go.
So they're not far from here. There was a small little farm and he had a big river going through it, and he built a water wheel to power it. Consumer showed up, says, "You can't have this." They shut him down.
How could he not have it?
I don't know. It's
Okay.
not far from here.
So with that being said, there's a generator sitting at Charlton Park.
Mm-hmm.
Charlton Park Historical Park.
Yeah.
I had a chance to buy that generator. I could have got that generator for $5,000. Okay, that generator could have powered Walmart, Menards. It could have powered Tuttle
And down.
to Sprague.
Okay.
Freaking without any problems.
Okay. I get it.
And it used like 10 gallons of diesel fuel an hour. It's a big fucker. I mean, the pistons, I think they said were 28 inches across. But
Like right here.
again, if I powered it up, let's say I parked it at my fucking house and fired it up and backfed it, it would have fed my neighbors and all that shit. Consumers Energy would and do pay me for my energy. Because my meter is literally spinning backwards.
Yeah, but they pay you pennies on the fucking dollar.
Word. I don't know. This guy, it was a deal. We put a pool in for him. Yeah.
That doesn't seem fucking right. It's your property. You can fucking power it how you want.
Didn't want him and they were using the DEQ against him. So,
So the top 20 largest power producing facilities
In Michigan or in the country?
world.
Okay.
Hydro,
yeah.
natural gas, hydro, nuclear. So hydro is definitely a way to go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Well, I seen
But
one.
once it's up and running, it takes minimal people to work it.
I seen one, and I don't remember where, but how they fucking did it is fucking gorgeous. Just the landscaping they did with it, and the waterfall they created with it, and it was somewhere, I don't know, Italy, something, and it literally runs through 3 mountains, and they pipelined it. So it comes out of one, shoots freaking, I don't know, a 50-foot diameter freaking pipe, comes out, lands in this basin, funnels back into another 50-foot fucking pipe, goes through another freaking water wheel hydroelectric system, whatever, comes out, goes through another one, and it goes
Gravity
down.
feed turbine.
Yeah.
So China has a Three Gorges Dam. It's 22,500 megawatt. Annual generation, 78.8 terawatt hours. Tremendous amount of fucking power.
Yeah, that's
Well,
stupid
78 what? 78,000 gigawatt hours. 78.8 thousand gigawatt hours. Gigawatt hours.
That's
a year, obviously.
no, I know that, but that's enough to feed 4 months of the U.S., right?
Yeah. Its annual output is enough to feed the U.S. for
4
a few months.
Yeah. So, and
basically,
how much water surrounds us?
What we're saying is, well, hold on. The issue is with hydro, you need the water falling.
And
But Holland could pull it off. Saugatuck could pull it off.
Ludington, Ludington pumps it in,
If
shoves
they-
it
if
right
they
back
can do
out.
it, they can do it.
So
I have it.
that's actually one of the power storage things. They use water towers, and at night when power is cheap, they pump water up into the tower, and then at times of high demand, they let it fall back down and generate power from that.
Yeah.
That's one way to do it. But what we kind of discussed here is if we had nuclear and hydro, we don't need all these fucking wind turbines that are ugly as shit. We
And
don't
loud.
need all these solar farms that are just ruining farmland. We don't need that shit. get rid of your natural gas that only gets 99 kilowatt hours from 100 cubic feet, which is a 10-foot to a side cube of natural gas. And we can only get 99 kilowatt hours, which I understand is 3 and a bit. Well, it's 3 and 3 normal American homes and Ty's home.
That was good.
It's getting deep.
So
Finish up with that. I'm going to go pee. And we're going to talk eggs.
Yeah,
we're at 55.
let's just freaking call it.
Call it?
And then
I got all
we'll
these
come
cars
back.
to talk about and eggs.
Call it. We'll come back.
No. You guys can come back. I'm tired of shit.
Dude, you ain't done nothing yet this week.
Correct, but I'm still tired.
You've been
I'm
on vacation.
not tired.
You've been on
Did I say I
vacation.
was
No,
tired?
no,
I said, let's come back.
What time did you wake up this morning?
Well, you and Tage are about to
7:30.
be...
I woke up at 1.
I'm sorry.
Some of us have to go to work this week.
We'll skip cars. But
Not us. Not us.
the top 10 recalls of the year. And eggs, you and Tage are about to become really popular. Can't get eggs. Michigan is changing the laws on eggs.
Costco,
Free range shit or
Costco just had a big recall on eggs,
Effective
too.
January 1st, 25, Michigan law states that retailers can only sell cage-free eggs. You will notice this change in our stores throughout December as we remove conventional from our assortments to ensure we are compliant with the new law. What's that mean for
Herbrooks.
Herbrooks and Eggland's Best, or what? Not Eggland's, but the
I was
ones
gonna
over
say.
Sunrise Acres. Used to be Sunrise Acres.
I don't know what that one is, but I just know Eggland's Best is Herbrooks.
Whatever. What does that mean for these people? We have a lot of locals here that work for Herbrooks.
Well,
Curious to see, are they going to let them run free? Are they're just going to truck those eggs out of state?
well, hold on.
Man, maybe I can get a trucking job over
There's
there.
probably some loophole there that McDonald's can still buy their eggs.
So?
McDonald's eggs are freaking processed powdered eggs.
I thought McDonald's was buying their eggs from Herbrooks.
No, they're buying them from Cargill and Waco.
Yep. But I don't know how those are made, though. They might... Some of it's
Some are
got-
powdered, some are cracked, some are egg whites, like the egg white
I don't know.
freaking stuff that you buy because you're too...
I eat scrambled eggs. Not every day.
With the yolks?
Yes.
With the...
Yes. Pretty soon I won't be because... What?
I thought you only ate egg whites.
No. Pretty soon, what does that mean for us, though? A fucking box of eggs was $18 the other day for us.
Yeah. It ain't cheap.
I can work it out.
Dozen eggs was like $4 the other day.
$18 for a 60 count.
Yeah.
Dude.
Where at?
Wally World.
Fuck. Costco, the last time I bought them, it was freaking
They were way up there,
four
too.
dozen eggs for $10? $11?
Why would you buy eggs?
Because the chickens don't produce them faster than I eat them.
Well, you better slow the fuck down because if it's going to go up to that price.
Or get more chickens.
Yeah.
But again, beef.
Did you know
protein,
chickens die when you fuck them?
beef. Beef is $4.99 a freaking pound, or $8.99 a pound.
I'm
or-
hoping January 1st or January 21st.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
January
Correct
21st,
yourself.
something happens that there's a changing of the guard
Changing
and,
the guard,
and then
yeah.
the tide.
Well,
We'll save the cars for next week, I guess. But Tesla, per capita, these are the how many recalls they had each
this is
for
the worst.
this year.
Yeah.
And per capita, the number that they actually had, Tesla's number one, Stellantis, Ford, Honda, GM, BMW, Toyota, Kia, Hyundai, Volkswagen in that order.
Well, Happy New Year. Yeah.
If you need somebody to drive your home, don't drive drunk. Call somebody.
Call Jeremy.
I don't. If you have my number and you need to fucking have a ride home, call me. I will come. That's fine.
Actually, since we're talking about that,
If
how do you guys stay up that late till midnight? I can't fucking do that.
Or if you're going out to go out and really whoop it up and party, call me. I'll go there with you. I know Jeremy will drive us home.
Exactly. I would rather you call me at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning, drunk off your ass,
than
than
say,
kill one of my fucking kids driving down the fucking road.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or
Send
my
it-
parents, or whatever.
Pissed.
Here's to those that wish us well.
All the rest can go to hell.
See ya.
Ho, ho.